Well, welcome to our Energize and Stretch class. Get comfortable on your mats. Lie down, close the eyes. Give yourself permission to settle in. And first, just becoming aware of your breath. So not changing anything, just simply observing what's coming up for you in this moment. Notice the physical body as it's laying on your mat, where there might be any discomfort. Parts of the body that are a little resistant to rest and stillness in this moment. And collectively taking a full breath in. Exhale, letting it go. Another full breath in. And letting it go. So we're going to start today's class with just a little bit of breath work. This is a type of breath work that's going to help energize the body. It's very simple, you don't have to think too much about it. You're basically splitting your inhale into two parts. So on your first half of your inhale, you'll fill your belly. The second half of your inhale, you'll fill your chest. And then exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, belly, inhale, chest. Exhale through the mouth. So think 2 parts to 1. 2 parts inhale, 1 part exhale. And if an audible exhale comes out, allow it. Sometimes the inaudible exhale sends an audible cue to the body to relax. Allow the shoulders to rest down on the mat, space between the teeth. The hips, pelvis feel heavy against your mat, rooting you down. Heels of the feet against the mat. Hands, arms. One more of those 2 to 1 part breaths. And then simply go back to your natural rhythm of an inhale and an exhale. And so when we move our body, we have the opportunity to change our mind, and breath works in a similar way and can assist with that process, which is why we often feel better after we've moved our body. You can take that time to be present, to notice what's going on through the mind's eye. And if you aren't in a position throughout your day to move your physical body, sometimes just changing the way you breathe will also assist with that. So something you can take in your back pocket for off your mat. For now, let's continue to focus on what's working, what's feeling good. Start to wiggle fingers and toes, wrists, ankles. Draw the knees in towards your chest. And make circles with the knees, drawing them away from you and back in. Mindful to switch directions. Now as we move through each pose, each flow, can you put your focus on what's feeling good in the body? And even get specific about specific areas, specific poses. Sometimes I imagine as if I had a highlighter, I could highlight where in my body I'm feeling sensation. So it just helps keep you focused on the four corners of your mat. And plant your feet down on the earth. Heel toe your feet a bit wider and let them rock towards the right. Pause here. Cactus style the arms, so bend the elbows. Palms facing up, and right away let the elbows draw down just a touch. Full breath. Guide the knees to the opposite side. Good, and then come back into center. Let's hug the knees into the chest, and then I want you to cross the right over the left, just as if you were sitting in a chair, cross-legged. And then we'll make this a little more active. Take the legs at about a 90 degrees. Reach your hands towards your feet. So you might only be able to reach towards the shins or the ankles. That's totally fine. Flex the toes. And then start to guide and pull the shins or your ankles, your feet, wherever you can reach towards you. You should feel a nice stretch through the backs of the legs. Top of the hamstrings, the glutes. If eventually you can reach towards the arches of your feet, that's another nice way to grip. Full breath. And then we'll find eagle legs. So release the feet, wrap the foot around the back of the calf. And if you've done eagle pose standing, then you'll know what this looks like standing up. But just on your back gives you a little more opportunity to work on the legs. So think about hugging legs into each other, hugging in towards your midline. So there's some activation. Catch your breath. And then let's add the arms. So take your left arm, sweep it under your right. Wrap the back or hook the elbows. And then wrap your palm around towards the wrist. Unwind both arms and legs and give them a little bit of a shake. Perfect. Let's start on the opposite side, so cross the opposite leg over, left over right if you're following me. Draw the hands down the legs towards shins, ankles, or arches of the feet. Guide and pull them towards you until you feel enough stretch, enough sensation. Flex the feet. Can you soften your shoulders? Allow the breath to support this pose, especially if it's new. Release the legs, find your eagle's legs now, wrap them around and up and under. Arms, right under left, hook and wrap the arms. Think about hugging everything in towards your midline. So we were just stretching and now we're engaging muscles, so finding that bit of heat now. Catch your breath. Unwrap arms, unwrap legs, really nice work, give them a little shake. And we'll roll over onto our one side, come all the way up and meet me in your tabletop. Plant the palms, hips stacked over knees, shoulders stacked over wrists. Drop the belly down, lift your gaze up. Think about finding space across your collarbones, tipping your tailbone high. Find your inhale. And on your exhale, round through the back body, tucking up and under. Inhale forward, belly dropping down. Exhale, rounding. Perhaps you close your eyes, being even more present for sensation internally. Noticing how the bones, muscle, tendons feel, as opposed to also the skin on the outside of the body. Notice how the clothes might move as you flow through poses. How the mat feels against parts of the body, like the palms of the hands here, maybe even the tops of your feet. One more rotation through. Neutralize your spine. Hug front body in to support back body. Can you kick your right leg out behind you? Flex the foot. Point the toes. And then we'll step the right foot up beside your right hand. Finding a low lunge. Right away, I want you to hinge forward so you can feel stretch through the front of the left leg. If this is too uncomfortable for you, feel free to grab any props that are going to support you with some extra height, so you can use blocks or a bolster. Really let the hips dip forward. Lengthen up through the front body. Core is hugged in to support you. Can you be mindful of your gaze? So notice if you're scrunching the eyes or the eyebrows, clenching the jaw. Use your breath to help release and soften where you can. We'll add one more layer onto our low lunge. If it feels appropriate, you can rock over onto the pinky toe edge of your right foot and rock back in. So as you do this, of course, the knee's going to follow, the knee's going to rock out and rock in. The sole of the foot peels off the earth. 2 more times if this is feeling good in the moment. Move your props off your mat. Send the right foot back beside left. Right away switching sides. So reach the left leg out behind you. First find length through the back leg. Core is hugged in. Point and flex the toe. And then step left foot up beside your left hand. Let the hips drop down, hinge forward. So I don't have 90 degrees with the back leg. I'm hinging forward. If you want that extra height with your props, have it brought in towards you. Come back to a breath and inviting in softness where you can. There's not going to be softness in the legs for the most part because they're holding your pose here. They're your strength. But the face can be soft. The shoulders can be soft. The back of the neck. You can start to add on, peeling left foot off the mat, rolling onto the pinky toe edge, drawing it back. Moving gently. Everything I guide you through is simply an offering. So if something's just not feeling right, you don't need to do it. Once more. Props off to the side. Step back to all fours. Flip your toes. Find your first downward facing dog. Send the hips up and back. Let's keep some flow of movement happening here. So as soon as you land in down dog, you can let the hips sway. You can pedal out through your feet by pressing down on one heel and then pressing down on the other. I like to use my arms and hands as a bit of leverage. So I'll press away from the mat. I notice how that helps lengthen the backs of my arms, lengthen my back body. One more good breath here. Good, and we'll get high on both heels, bend your knees deeply, walk or hop to the front of your mat. Feet are at hips distance, so not too wide, not too narrow. Bring your hands to your shins or thighs, lift up and out halfway. Head is in line with the back body, so you're not craning the neck up or down. Exhale, let it go, forward fold. You can have the knees generously bent here. Roll up to stand, sweep your arms high. Collect hands down to your heart center. Inhale, arms reach. Hands back down to heart center. Bend your knees. Sink into chair pose. I really want you to anchor through the heels. And then press all 5 and 10 toes down to help with balance. So they're pressing down intentionally, but most of the weight's in your heels. That's going to help activate hamstrings and glutes. Can you sink down 1 inch lower? Feel core wrapping around 360, engaged and holding you strong. 1 more breath. Exhale, let it go. Lift up and out halfway. Bend your knees, plant your palms, step back to plank. Our first plank, make it strong. So think about pressing away from the mat, front body lifting to support back body. Get high on those back toes. Rock forward. And lower through chaturanga. Elbows raise your ribs. Peel your chest up. Flip the backs of the toes. Really think about shining your chest forward. And on your exhale, downward dog. Really good work. Inhale, sweep your right leg high to the sky. Look between your hands, nose to knee, and then step it through between your hands. Right away, pivot the back heel down. So when you look at your feet now, your front heel is in alignment with the back left arch of your foot. From here, windmill the arms up. We'll be in our warrior two. I like to take a longer stance in warrior two. It helps me with my balance. Even gives me more of a stretch to the front leg, so you might challenge yourself to explore what a longer stance feels like. Most importantly, your front knee stuck right over top of your ankle, so you have that 90-degree shape. Arms out in line with your shoulders. Nice work. Find your breath, find your gaze. Focus somewhere in front of you. How does the breath feel in this pose? Does it feel stuck or stagnant? Does it feel like it's fluid? With the exhale, support the shoulders to soften down. Flip your palms to the sky, exalt your warrior, long reach back. Come back up. Once again, exalt your warrior, reach it back. Come forward. Take your right arm under your left. Give yourself a hug. You want your fingertips to reach around towards your shoulder blades. And then take the backs of the arms and kiss them together. You're in your eagle arms. Lift your elbows up an inch higher. Can your gaze look up towards your fingers? Breathe in. Breathe out. Unwrap the arms. Stretch them out. Cartwheel hands to your mat. Step back to plank. Move through your vinyasa. So flowing with as much control as you can, building your arm strength as you do that. Meeting in downward dog. 3 rounds of breath here. If at any point you need water, go for it, or perhaps even coming to kneeling to catch your breath if that would support your pose. And focusing on what's feeling good, what's thriving. And can we try and bring that into our day-to-day life too? It's going to be really easy to focus on what's not working, what needs fixing, what needs to be addressed. Can we spend a little more time in appreciation of what's thriving, what's going our way? If you were kneeling, meet me back in down dog. Left leg high to the sky. Knee to nose. Quietly step your foot through between your hands. Let's land with our feet down. So back heel pivots. Make sure you check your front heels in line with the back arch of your foot. Arms windmill up and open. Adjust your stance a little bit longer. Challenge yourself. Sink that front knee down to stack over your ankle. Arms up in line with shoulders. Good. I find it helpful. I always have to check my back foot to make sure I'm pressing down on the pinky toe edge of my toes. Sometimes I rock in towards the arch of my foot. So be mindful of that. Flip the palms up. Exalt your warrior. Gaze high if you can. Come back through warrior two. And again, reach it back. Warrior two. Good. Arms left under right. Give yourself a hug. You can stay here or wrap the arms around each other, finding your full eagle arms. Can you lift the elbows 1 more inch? Feel that stretch through the back of the body. Breathing in. And on your exhale, unwind, stretch them out. Cartwheel hands to your mat. Step back, vinyasa or downward dog. So vinyasa being your push-up, up dog, down dog. Or you can skip and land right and down. Notice how your breath is supporting the body. Your ability to move here, all things that are working and thriving for you in this moment. Inhale, get high on your heels, bend your knees deeply, walk or hop to the front of your mat. Lift up and out halfway. Exhale to soften. Roll up to stand, reach high. Hands to heart center. Good. Let's take our right knee and hug it towards our chest. Catch it between your hands. I like to think about hugging my right knee up towards my shoulder. And then brace your core. So think about zipping a sweater up. One more breath. Flex your foot for me. And then point the right toes. We're going to work on finding eagle legs. So think about when we're just doing it in the air on our backs. Now you're going to take the right leg, cross it over your left, and bend your left knee. Good. Opportunity here to use your right toes as a kickstand. So you could always have them just gently touching the earth. If you're up for more of a challenge, you can wrap the foot around the back of the shin or ankle. Hands to heart or on a wall or to your hips, wherever helps you feel a little more sturdy. Can you sink down one more inch? Breathe for me and hug the legs together. You should feel some resistance there and muscles engaged. Good. Unwind. Shake it out. We're going to do that again. We're going to add the arms this time. Inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bend your knees, find your chair pose. So we're going to find your eagle from chair this time. Take your right leg and right away cross it over left. Right toes either come down as your kickstand or wrap it around. Let's right away move into the arms. Take your left under your right, give yourself a hug. And then back to the arms. Maybe you eventually can wrap so that the palms start to touch. Elbows lift an inch, squeeze legs together, squeeze arms together, breathe in. Can you hang here for one more breath? Inhale. Exhale, unwind, reach. Feel that flush of blood, that flush of energy through the body. And then we'll start on the left. So we're going to go from standing on the first one and then chair in the second one. So to start, left knee in towards your chest. Little bit of balance prep here. Think about how your left knee up towards your shoulder and then zipping up again through the abdominals. Sometimes you're going to lose your balance by leaning back too far, and when you brace your core, you find yourself pulling forward that little bit, and that's going to help keep you balanced. From here, cross left over right, bend the right knee. Left toes might use as your kickstand, maybe you wrap it behind you. Just focus on legs first. So wherever is comfortable for arms, legs are hugging in towards one another. Core is engaged. Where's the breath? Nice work. Unwind, shake it out. So you might already notice that one leg feels a little more stable than the other. Coming back to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, hands heart centered. Dip down into chair. Left leg crosses over your right. Come back to the eagle legs. If you have your kickstand or if you're wrapping around. And then right away add arms. Right under left, give yourself a hug. Find eagle arms and wrapping back with the arms. Maybe you work to connect the wrists and palms. Find somewhere to focus on. Whether it's the fingertips, sometimes you can peek just a little bit behind the arm, somewhere in front of you helps. Can you lift the elbows an inch? Breathe for me. Exhale, unwind, reach. Let it all go, forward fold. Bend knees a lot here. Maybe you grab opposite elbows. Notice how we had some tension there. Heat, tension, engagement. When we let it go, we have this release, this flush of energy. Lift up and out halfway. Bend your knees, plant your palms, step back to your plank. Lower through your push-up. Flip the toes, peel the chest up. Can you hover thighs and hips off the earth? Flip the toes, downward dog. A little bit of movement here feels good. Sway the hips. Take 3 rounds of breath for yourself. Inhale, sweep right leg high. Knee to nose to find that rounding through the spine. Look between the hands, step the foot through. Back heel pivots. Open up to warrior two. Arms out in line with the shoulders. Gaze just past your front fingertips. Make sure you're sinking into that front leg enough. Knee over ankle. Flip the palms, exalt your warrior. Left arm just drapes down the back of the leg, and perhaps you reach it behind you so that the left hand is reaching around towards the right hip. Inhaling up. Hinge forward. Take your elbow to your knee. Gaze maybe up towards your thumb. You can guide your thumb over top of your chin. Notice if you're resting your elbow into your leg like you're resting on a couch. Lift up and out, lengthen. Come back up. Exalt again, reach back. Float forward, side angle. Look down at your right foot, plant the palms. Flick your right knee or right foot in towards your chest like a matchstick. Shoot it all the way up, three-legged dog. And land it beside left. Good work. Deep breath in between. Left leg high. Knee to nose, round through your spine. Step the foot through. Back heel pivots. Windmill your arms up. Warrior two. Then go through your little checklist. Noticing the arms. Even take a peek at the back arm. Sometimes it sways really far behind us or really far in front, so making sure it's kind of right up in an alignment until there's some more muscle memory attached to that. Flip the palms, exalt your warrior, sweep it back. Perhaps you wrap the back arm around you. Inhaling up, elbow to knee, gaze high, thumb over the chin, and keep that lifting up and out sensation here. Where are you feeling this pose? Let's repeat that once. Inhale up, exalt. Sweep forward, side angle. Look down at your left foot, plant your palms. Step back, our last chance to move through vinyasa. So plank, maybe the knees soften at this point, lower down. Peel your chest up, squeeze the shoulder blades behind your heart. Flip your toes, downward dog. Let's heel toe the feet a little bit wider. Find a little bit of a rock side to side and notice how this changes the sensation you feel in a pose. Just by simply adjusting the distance of the feet. Even minor adjustments in poses really show up and change the sensation. Get high on your heels, bend your knees deeply, walk or hop to the front of your mat. Lift up and out halfway. Exhale to soften down. Roll up to stand, sweep the arms up. Hands heart center. Good. Let's come down onto the bum, however you get there. Stretch the left leg out long in front of you. Right knee is bent. Be mindful that sometimes we draw our heel in a little bit too much and it's hard to sit up tall, so it's okay if it's further away from you, as that allows you to sit up. Right arm to the sky. Use that to get tall. On your exhale, reach behind you, twisting open. Left hand is on the right knee to help keep it hugged in. Use your inhales to get taller. Your exhales are what allow you space to twist. Notice what's working in the body. Perhaps even what pose has felt good so far. Choosing to focus on what's working. Unwind to the center. Let your right knee fall down. Tuck the sole of the foot in. Get tall again. I always like to start seated poses with that little bit of length with my inhale. And then exhale from there, reaching forward. Left toes can be flexed or flat. Lead with your heart. Think about the heart having a string attached to it, pulling you forward. Roll yourself up, and we'll switch legs. Left knee hugs in, sit up tall again, mindful that the spine can stay upright. Left arm up. Exhale, twist it back. Think about your back arm, your left arm, almost like a second spine. So it's there to support you. You're not dumping weight into it. It's just there to help support and brace you. Unwind the spine. Let the left knee fall down. Tuck the sole of the foot in. Again, find that lifting sensation. Breath in. Exhale to reach forward. Always using our breath to support our postures. That's what it's there for. Lead with your chest. Couple more rounds of breath. Rolling yourself up. Preparing to come onto our back body. If we need some sort of prop, and I'd like it to be either a bolster or a block, or if you have a pillow, a blanket you can have rolled up, anything that allows you just a little bit of thickness to support you. Have that within arm's reach, and then you can roll all the way down onto your back. Plant the soles of the feet down on the earth. Arms down by your side. Shimmy the shoulder blades behind the heart center. Walk your heels closer towards your sit bones. And lift your hips high to the sky. Hold it here first. Squeeze the glutes, so press the hips up. Breath is steady and we're engaging inner thighs again here. So imagine like you had a block between the knees or small resistance loop wrapped around the thighs. What this really does is just help keep the knees stacked over your ankles, everything in alignment to support you. Where's your breath? And carefully roll the spine right back down. That's enough hard work. Now we're going to use our prop of choice. You're going to lift the hips up and gently slide your prop underneath of the sacrum, which is a triangular bone at the base of your spine. You should feel really supported here, not wonky at all. Take a moment if you need to adjust to make sure it's in the right spot, not too far forward on the bum, but not too far up the back where it sits in the low back. It's right in between. Think about your tailbone. And once you feel like you've landed in the right spot, close the eyes. Rest the arms wherever they fall naturally. You can choose to stay here, supported bridge, or you can stretch the legs out long. That's going to allow for a little more of a stretch through the front of the hips, front of the body entirely. And then your last option is to kick the legs up towards the sky, taking all that weight out of the legs and reversing the flow. And once you've settled and chosen your pose, will stay here for 5 or 6 rounds of breath. Noticing as the thoughts wander off, gently coming back to to the breath when you notice it. Enjoy one more cycle of breath. Replanting the feet if they are not. Lift the hips, slide your prop out from underneath of you. Moving into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So you might even adjust your prop so that it's underneath of the knees. You might choose no props. Maybe you're adding a few extra layers to keep the body heat in. And wherever you land, I want there to be an ability to rest with ease. No effort, as little discomfort as you possibly can. And part of that is simply giving yourself permission to rest fully. And can you think of perhaps 3 things, big, small, doesn't matter, that are thriving for you in this moment? Just the first 3 things, no need to overthink. What is thriving for you? What is going well? We can quickly overlook those items and move on to the next problem, but can we, even for just the time on our mat, shift the focus to what is? And allow that to be where you start your Shavasana, knowing I'll guide us back when the time is right. Beginning to deepen your breath. Noticing the resting state of your body. The easy flow of your breath as it enters your body and releases. And gradually reinvigorating the body, small movements, fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Opening and closing the mouth, fluttering the eyes, rocking the head, and sweep the arms overhead, finding a full body stretch. Rolling over onto one side, collecting a moment for yourself. And coming up to meet me in seated. Hands at heart center. Eyes closed. Sealing our practice with a collective breath in through the nose. And letting it go. Thank you so much for joining me for our energizing practice. Highest in me sees the highest in you. Namaste.